Well, hello everyone, it's me, it's Hawk, and welcome back to this, accompanying me on this journey. Note that I am not an expert on spiritual or occult topics. These videos are just meant to foster community, start a conversation, to learn, to reflect, and to grow, both spiritually, magically, and knowledge-wise. These videos will be awkward. Just a forewarning, I will not really hold back my authentic self in these videos, so prepare for some awkwardness. Prepare for me to stumble, ramble, pause, to look at my script, to basically leave in background noise or whatever life throws my way, so long as it's like not confidential via people that live with me. And that type of thing. Just know that I am autistic and ADHD, so I do have to look off the script in order to stay on point, even remotely, and to even be able to focus on these videos. So be warned that eye contact will not be constant, which may be a good thing for those of you who are also neurodiverse. So, into the video. So, this is the first video in with my spiritual check ins or whatever. I will link you the video where I'm talking about what this new type of video will be. It's basically holding myself accountable spiritually and magically and just knowledge wise, or occultically speaking. And I was prompted to by my goddess that I work with, Hecate, or the goddess that I work with, Hecate. She really prompted me to start making these videos so that I can not only hold myself accountable but also foster a community and grow alongside others. And so that's what these videos are about. And so the point of this video is that I'll share my findings spiritually for this week or lately, and also give some prompts that I was given. Now, on the 16th of March, I did do a reading and meditation with Hecate, goddess of witchcraft, a goddess of the moon, also a goddess of the crossroads, of leading the dead to a more peaceful afterlife and things of that nature. Um, I worship her, I work with her, and after doing, or during, I should say, a meditation and reading or like divination work that I did with her, I received some homework, and I have gotten the permission from the teacher, Hecate, to share said homework with you and share some of the prompts. Excuse me for wiping my nose there, with you. So I've gotten her permission to share what I have learned and what I've been given as homework with you. And these prompts are very mentally stimulating and might trigger some very deep emotions within you, so do be warned. So, note number one, this is not a prompt, this is just my spiritual finding, is that you should not resist necessary change as much as possible. The ego often resists the most necessary changes. That is when you challenge it. Go outside of your comfort zone. Shift, reflect, grow, and transform. Because when you think about it, the things that you want the most, or not want, but the things that you need the most, you're often resistant to. You're often resistant to what is outside your comfort zone, but if you don't get outside your comfort zone, you'll never learn, you'll never grow, you'll just be stuck in this continual bubble loop thing, and you won't really grow. And I get it, the ego is meant to be there as your sense of self, but also to protect you. It's also there to protect you from being hurt or traumatized. But if you don't step out there and give yourself the potential to learn and grow, even from failure, which is often the best teacher, you will never really learn and grow as fast as you would have if you just stayed in your bubble. If you stayed in your bubble, you won't learn or grow as fast. But if you step outside and take that courageous step, it's okay to feel fear, but if you take that courageous step outside of your comfort zone, you will find that you will grow a lot more. Now, don't intentionally put yourself in danger or anything like that, but also know that it's okay to do some things that make you uncomfortable. It's okay to feel uncomfortable, but the most important thing in this is that you get comfortable with the discomfort, because you need to look at other perspectives than just your own and those around you in your like little circle. You need to know about other perspectives so you can learn and grow. Even if you don't end up agreeing with those perspectives, you can at least you know it, and you know it better than what, say, people in your circle might have said. And that's what's really important about really going outside of your comfort zone, is that you can grow and transform and become a better version of you. Obviously, it's always going to be a journey. You're always going to have room for improvement, but you know, if you can step into the best version of you for you, that's good. You know what I mean? Like, don't do it necessarily just for others' sake, do it for your sake. And again, just don't resist the necessary change, and the ego resists the most necessary changes. And when that happens, you need to challenge it and go outside of your comfort zone, shift, reflect, grow, and transform. And that's what the note of this video will be. So what's next? I have 2 prompts. The first prompt is as it relates to the accumulation of material goods and like hauls and like shopping consumerism, which is something I struggle with. I do have a spending problem, and also it's like it relates almost to like a Marie Kondo type thing, because it's like, does this spark joy? Does this serve you? But also, it's a little bit of a hermetic thing in the sense of as above, so below, as within, so without. Macrocosm is a reflection of the microcosm is a reflection of the macrocosm, and vice versa. If I'm correct, do correct me if I'm wrong. But you know, I see my room, which is my personal, like, my bedroom is my personal space. It's where I have my, like, since I do live in an apartment with others, it's where I have basically everything. And so it is a reflection, like, how neat or messy it is, how much clutter there is a reflection of often of what's going on internally or mentally. So that's how it relates to the microcosm macrocosm analogy. And I find that, so that's what I found from this reading, and what Hecate really prompted me with is, does this spark joy, and why do I want these material goods that may or may not be cluttering my life? And if I were to somehow lose everything, every material good, say there was an apartment fire, some natural disaster, and I had to evacuate with as little as possible, what would be the first things that I either go back for or try to buy again? Because that is something that really stuck out to me when she prompted me with that. It's like, what would you buy again or go back for, and why? And if you were to go back for this item, if you were to rebuy it, why does it matter to you? And if you were not to regain it, are you ready to give it up or release it or let it go? And reflect upon your answers, your keeps and declutters, if you will, and make note of what you're keeping, what you're decluttering, and why, and try to find some common ground, maybe a Venn diagram, if you will, of what really is the common theme of what brings you joy, things that you really feel bring you comfort. That type of thing will really show you like what matters to you in the material sense, if anything does at all. And that was really something that stuck out to me as really important, and I'm still coming to grips with it. It's a really hard thing to grapple with as somebody who lives in the consumeristic society. I grew up very poor, or not the poorest, but I grew up low income, and I always had people in school, since I'm Gen Z, I always had people in school who had all these fancy things and I didn't. And I always felt a sense of not belonging. Now, granted, most of that was because people were ableist as all get out, but I felt like, oh, if I had this thing, I would fit in. And I had a huge sense of FOMO, like, oh, I want in, I don't want to miss out. And that's something that I do come to grips with, like, I am easily influenced in that regards. So, really just challenging that with, well, if you were to lose it all in a house fire, what would you really come back for and why? Would you really come back for that thing, or would you just accept your losses and move on? And that was something that really stood out to me. The second prompt that Hecate gave me was, what legacy do you want to leave behind in life? Now, I'm not contemplating my own death in like a bad sense here, like in a wanting to end my own life, but what she really gave me was, tomorrow is not guaranteed. And it's true, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. The only thing really guaranteed in life is that it ends eventually. And, you know, so with that being said, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want to have impacted and influenced others? And yeah, this could be a very triggering thing for a lot of people, but like, you know, it really stood out to me to be the change you want to see in the world. at the end of the day, how do you really have wanted to impact, how would you have really wanted to impact the world and others around you, the collective, the community, if you will? And what legacy do you want to leave behind? How do you want to be remembered? And that's something that really stood out to me, because it's like, yeah, like, life isn't guaranteed. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Anything could happen at any time, and that isn't to stoke fear in you, but rather to make you reflect upon, well, how am I impacting others? How am I impacting the planet? How am I impacting the collective? That is something that is very important and that people should reflect on, I think. And so those are the two prompts. Again, the two prompts were like, if you were to lose, one was if you were to lose everything, what would you come back for? And the second one is, how do you want to be remembered? And if you watched this far in the video, thank you. So if you have watched this far in the video, please leave a skull, butterfly, and a bandaged heart emoji, you know, that like repaired heart emoji. Any color will do. And let me know your findings if you're comfortable with it in the comments below. If you're comfortable with getting that personal publicly, let me know in the comments below, and or in an Instagram DM, those are open too. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I am really happy and grateful that anyone has watched this far, or this at all through. So please stay magical and have a wonderful day. This talk, and thank you for accompanying me this far along my journey. Have a wonderful day. This is Hawk signing out.